afternoon, everyone. And during last class, we have discussed about respiration in plants or respiration in higher plants. And along with that, we have discussed a little bit about plant growth and development. Now let us see the introduction of plant growth and development. Plant growth and development. Seventeen, 9, 20. Now, let us see about this plant growth and development. Now, let us discuss what is this growth and how this growth can be defined. Growth is defined as an irreversible growth is defined as an irreversible permanent increase in the size of an organ or its part even a cell or even a cell means growth is the permanent increase in the size of an organ. Growth is a permanent or is an irreversible permanent increase. For example, if a plant grows this much height and the growth of the plant cannot be reversed or the growth of the plant cannot be decreased, means irreversible increase in the size of an organ. For example, an animal grows like this and after a few years the height of the animal cannot decrease. And this permanent irreversible increase is termed as growth. Here, plant growth and development. Here in the growth and development, the plants can grow by the utilization of mineral nutrients. And let us see the definition of growth. The growth can be defined as, or growth is defined as an irreversible permanent increase in the size of an organ or its part or even a single cell. For example, and we have discussed in cell cycle, the size of the cell increases or cell growth occurs. During the growth phase, the cell growth occurs and the size of the cell or growth of the cell cannot be decreased. And that irreversible increase in the size of an organ or a cell, that is called as growth. Now let us see what is development. Development. Here, development means if an organism or a plant from its birth to death, or for example an organism or a organism is there, a animal is there from its birth to death, whatever the changes that occurred in the life cycle of an organism, that is called as development. changes that are seen in a the changes that are seen that are changes that occur throughout its life cycle. Life cycle of an organism. The changes that occur throughout the life cycle of an organism is called as development. For example, from the germination of a seed to germination of a seed to senescence of the plant. Senescence of the plant is called development. For example, one seed germinates to grow into a small plant body, and that plant grows, and the number of leaves and number of stems and number of fruits and number of flowers will be developed. And after the development of these kinds of all the organs of a plant body, after a certain age, some of the parts of the plant body fall on the earth's surface. For example, one leaf developed, and after a certain age or after certain years, after a certain time, the leaf becomes yellow and it will fall off. And so the events from the birth to senescence are the changes are the events that occur throughout the life cycle of an organism, from germination of a seed to senescence of the plant. That is called development. Now, there are two definitions that you have to remember: growth and development. Here this growth and development. Then how this growth and how these growth and development can occur in a plant body. Naturally, yesterday or last class we have seen some of the growth regulators. Some of the growth regulators we saw yesterday. Let us see about those growth regulators. Growth regulators. Growth regulators are of two types: growth promoters growth inhibitors. Growth promoters are growth inhibitors. These are the two kinds of growth regulators you can see or we can observe in the lesson called plant growth and development. And here the growth promoters includes auxins, gibberellins, or gibberellins, some people say gibberellins, and cytokinins. And these are the three kinds of growth promoters. And you see the growth inhibitors, there are two kinds of growth inhibitors are there. And what are the growth inhibitors means ethylene and abscisic acid. Also called as EAB, abscisic acid. And what kind of growth they promote, or these growth promoters promote what kind of growth? Let's see. Outline. Here, auxins here, the auxins promote apical dominance or apical growth of the plant body. Or auxins promote apical dominance. Apical dominance or apical growth. The auxins promote apical dominance. Which growth regulator promotes the growth or apical dominance? The question may be asked. Or which growth regulator can promote the apical dominance? The growth promoter called auxin or auxins promote the apical dominance or which helps the apical growth of the plant body. For example, and this is the plant body. Let us see. This is the plant body, means so apical part of the plant body. The apical regions, tip regions, and the auxins help the growth of the plant body very fast. There are apical parts of the plant body, growth of the apical parts of the plant body. For example, and this is the apical or tip region of the plant body, and this tip, for the growth of this tip region, these auxins promote the growth of this apical region or end or tip regions of any branch or any stem of the plant body. And this is the function of these auxins are in general or in short form, and they promote the apical dominance. Promote apical dominance means in apical regions of the plant body, the cell division is higher or faster than any other part of the plant body. Means in apical part body or apical part of the plant body, the cell division occurs very fastly or very rapidly, and the rapid cell division occurs due to the presence of these auxins. For example, in some plants are growing very fastly, some plants are growing tall very fastly, and if you cut the apical region or tip region of the plant body, it gives branches. Means and how to control the apical dominance means to cut the tip regions. If you cut the tip region and this apical dominance is stopped, then the plant gives much more number of branches. And now let's see the gibberellins. And the gibberellins promote internodal growth. The gibberellins promote internodal growth or internode growth. And here, let us see what are internodes are. How these gibberellins promote internodal growth. And here, for example, this is a plant body, and we observe some monocotyledons or grass plants, and some nodes are present. In each and every plant, nodes are there. The nodal region, what happens? So the development of leaves occurs at the nodal region. And here, gibberellins promote internodal growth. Internodal growth means, and this is the node, and this is another node, and the place between two internodes, the place between two nodes, the place between two nodes is called, this is internode, and this is internode, and the increase in the internodal growth is promoted by the growth promoters that are called gibberellins. Here, to increase the nodal growth, for example, if you are growing a sugar crop And if you use these artificial gibberellins, and if you spray these gibberellins, there is a high yielding in the sugar cane. Why? Because the gibberellins increases the internodal growth. Thus, the stem of the plant body increases rapidly, and so you can get more sugar yield. Means here the gibberellins increases internodal, or the gibberellins promote to internodal growth. Internodal means this is one node and this is another node. The space, or the gap between two internodes or two nodes of a stem, that is called internode, and this internodal growth is promoted by the growth promoters that are called gibberellins, and the third growth promoter, that is called cytokinins. And what kind of growth promoted by these cytokinins here? And cytokinins promote cell division, or division of cytoplasm, hence they are named as cytokinins. Here, cell, or they promote cell division. Cytokinins promote cell division or cytoplasm. Means thus growth can occur. Here, more cell division means more number of cells are developed. More number of cells are developed means automatically growth also increased. And so the cytokinins help for the division of cytoplasm in each and every cell, or means multiplication of cells. Here, cell division due to the cytokinins, and if you spray cytokinins on a crop, and more cell division occurs and more growth occurs. And so these three are called auxins, gibberellins, and cytokinins. So these three are called growth promoters. Now let us see growth inhibitors, and we have discussed about two growth inhibitors. Two growth inhibitors. Number one, ethylene, and growth inhibit means they can't decrease the growth, but they stop the growth. They inhibit the growth. Means while growth is occurring, and they can suppress the growth of any organ of the plant body, or any part of the plant body, whether it may be a fruit, whether it may be a flower, or whether it may be a leaf. The ethylene can suppress or inhibit the growth. Here, suppressing the growth inhibitors, not only growth promoters, the growth inhibitors are also required for the plant growth and development. And why these plant growth inhibitors are required means the older parts of the plant body can be removed from it to show more growth, to develop younger parts, to develop younger leaves, to develop younger flowers, or to develop younger stems and branches. And the older parts of the plant body can be removed or can be fall off from the tree. And for that purpose, for the removal of older parts of the plant body, and these growth inhibitors are required. The growth inhibitors means they can't ruin the plant body, they can't disturb the growth of the plant body, but they are helpful for the removal of older parts of the plant body. Hence these are called as growth inhibitors. Growth inhibitors means they can't or they are not allowed to harm the plant body, but they can help the growth of the plant body with the help of, or with removing the older parts of the plant body. And growth inhibitors means you can't judge or you can't simply misunderstand this. They suppress the plant growth. Means they will not suppress the plant growth. They will remove the unnecessary parts of the plant body. And ethylene means the ethylene promote fruit ripening, promotes ripening. Ethylene promotes fruit ripening. Means, for example, some fruits are more number of fruits are there on the plant body, and if the what are the fruits means here, the more number of mineral nutrients are taken by the plant body. The excess mineral nutrients are stored in the form of fruits in the plants. Here, the plants are getting higher number of mineral nutrients, and that higher number of mineral nutrients, excess amount of mineral nutrients are available in the plants, and those extra amount of mineral nutrients are stored in the form of fruits by the plants. The plants store the mineral nutrients or excess mineral nutrients in the form of fruits only. Or excess food material in the plants are stored in the form of fruits. So that if the fruits are developed, and after the development of more number of fruits, and those fruits can be ripened, and those fruits can be fall off from the plant body, and for the ripening of the fruits means those fruits should be ripened, means the kacha fruits will become sweet, and this ethylene is required for the ripening of the fruits, so that the plant growth can be grown or can be increased by the ethylene, or it promotes fruit ripening. If fruit ripens means the expiry of the fruit comes, and so it promotes the fruit ripening. And the second one, abscisic acid, ABA, or abscisic acid. Abscisic acid, ABA. And the abscisic acid helps for the abscission of the older parts of the plant body. Abscission, promote abscission, promote abscission of older parts. And abscisic acid promote the abscission of older parts of the plant body. What is abscission? Means falling off or fall off. Means fall on the surface. The older parts are fall off. Abscission means fall off. For example, and in plants, and more number of leaves and stems are there, and the leaves after certain age becomes yellowish, and they become into orange color, and after that, and why they became orange color means their age is completed. The leaves after certain age or after certain time they becomes yellowish, means they become helpless. They can't prepare any food material. They are not helpful for the process of photosynthesis. Here, after certain age, some of the leaves of the plant body, and they should be fall off. Why? Because and the leaves of the plant body becomes yellowish, means there is no green tissue in that leaves. There is no chlorophyll tissue. There is no chloroplast in those leaves, and those leaves are unable to perform the photosynthesis. And so those leaves have to be fall off, or they have to be removed from the plant body. And so the removal of the older parts of the plant body occurs by the use of these abscisic acid. Here means abscission means removal or fall off, and one more, removal of the older parts of the plant body. Here abscission means removal or fall off of the older parts of the plant body, and these are the two plant growth inhibitors. And ethylene promotes fruit ripening of the fruits, and ripening ripening of the leaves. And after ripening, what should be occurred means they should be removed from the plant body. And how they are removed means they are removed with the help of abscisic acid. The abscisic acid plant growth inhibitor move to the older parts of the plant body, and older parts can be removed from the plant body. And these are the two plant growth inhibitors. And in this plant growth and development, we should see one more definition. We have to remember one more definition, that is called photoperiodism. Photoperiodism. What is this photoperiodism? Photo means light, and the response of the plants, the response of the plants to the periods of day or night. Day or night is called photoperiodism. Means a response of plants to the periods of day and night. What response? Means some of the plants require much day length to give flowers. And some of the plants require less day length to give flowers, and some require medium length day and night and for the flowering purpose. Means based on the flowering only, this photoperiodism is described. Here the response of the plants for the flowering to the periods of day and night. And here, for example, photoperiodism, there are three types of plants. Long day plants, the three kinds: long day plants, here they require much day length. Plants require much day length or more day length. For flowering. Here they require much day length for flowering. And short day plants, less day length for flowering. The plants require less day length for flowering. Means here some plants flower during some seasons. In summer seasons, much day length is there, and during the summer season, some plants use to give flowers and they can yield fruits. And some of the plants require a short day length during the winter season, and short day length is there. Means the sunlight is less from morning 7 to evening 6 o'clock. Short day length periods are there. In that short day length only, some plants use to give flowers. And other kind of plants are called day neutral plants. Day neutral. And day neutral plants, and they can give flowers at a neutral period of time. Means it doesn't require much day length or much or less day length, and it requires neutral period of time. These are called day neutral plants. For example, here, the long day plants require much day length for flowering. For example, let us take and 10 hours, let us take, and shorter day length, it requires only around 6 hours of daytime, and night time should be more. Yeah, day neutral plants, will be around 8 hours are day neutral plants. Day neutral plants means night time and daytime should be equal, and that kind of time period only some flowers used to, some plants used to give flowers. And photoperiod means the response of plants to the periods of day and night during flowering. It is called photoperiodism. And according to the photoperiodism, three kinds of flowers are there. Plants are there. Three kinds of plants: long day plants, short day plants, and day neutral plants are there. Based on the photoperiodism. And and one more thing that you should remember, that is called vernalization. Vernalization. What is this vernalization? Vernalization. Some plants used to give flowers when they are exposed to low temperatures. It is called vernalization. Some plants used to give flowers, or some plants are exposed to low temperatures for flowering, or some plants are used, some plants flower either, some plants flower qualitatively, some plants give flowers qualitatively, and quantitatively. And they are exposed to low temperatures. Some plants give flowers qualitatively or